Hello everyone, welcome back. So today we're going to be playing Nautilus, and we'll be facing off against the Targon Adventure from the Nightmares campaign. They finally added a absurdly high star adventure, 10 stars. It's the highest so far. I think the highest one before was 6.5. They supposedly made this an extremely large adventure. You go through like 3 different maps. I don't really know what to expect. The opponent doesn't even have the deadly modifier that most of the other adventures that are high star have. So maybe it won't be that bad, but just in case, I'm not really going to try this out with a 3-star champion until I see for myself what I'm getting into. So we're just going to be doing Nautilus today. Nautilus design in of itself is not the best 6 stars, but it's not the worst either. It's kind of like a middle ground in terms of power level, I think. So it should be a decent gauge to see how hard this adventure is actually going to be. Also, considering how long this adventure is going to go, we should be able to get some use out of the setup you normally run on Nautilus. You have I normally run on Nautilus. I have Heart of Gold, so I can get more money, combined with the stack deck, because you're incentivized by Nautilus's power to have a large deck. And considering how long this adventure is going to go, we should be able to develop a very large deck, which in turn will allow us to get a very large power boost from the stack deck. I'm just going to zoom out, see what we're dealing with. Yeah, this is basically like 3 adventures stitched together. I might just split this video into multiple parts because of that. Haven't even gotten to the powers the opponent has. Time for friendship. The foe fills their back row with 1 cost powers. If it's already full, grant their units everywhere +1/+1 and a random keyword. If I keep the opponent's board under control, this shouldn't ever come online. I don't know, this feels deceptively weak. We'll see once it comes into action. Durability. The foe summons extra plating for each map the player has completed. Increase its countdown by 1 map. Probably counts, yeah. Each of these areas counts as a map, probably. And extra plating is countdown to your next stuff. Reduce further damage to it by half. Oh, so the opponent is going to have a lot of longevity. This might be, for once, this might be an adventure where you're not incentivized to just kill the opponent in over 2 turns, or it might be an adventure where you can't kill the opponent over 2 turns. Ruinous. When the foe summons a unit, triple its stats. The foe spells and skills deal triple damage. Well, there goes my theory out of the window. Apparently the boss encounters at the very least have not deadly but ruinous. A new power, it seems lethal. When the foe summons a unit, double its stats, the foe spells and skills deal double damage. Okay. Now I see what's going on. Never mind, every encounter has the deadly. There goes the fun factor out of the window. Well, I'm still going to try my best anyway. Let's go, Nautilus. Mystic Meditation, we got this. Rush them down. None of these... Wait. Oh, I was messing around with the various defiance modifiers. Well, just give me a second. There, that was a false start. I don't hate myself enough to try this out on my first attempt without any sort of powers or any bonuses. So yeah, because of Nautilus's power, we're incentivized to get a big deck. Also, since I had to restart without beating anything, I only have access to common powers at the start now, but it's not too bad. Flexible game plan is good with Nautilus. I can either go for a Karma or Lulu. Interesting choice. They said a lot of the encounters here would be reminiscent of encounters from the game's history, or the game's PvP history, I should say. I don't exactly remember what they could be though. Karma Azrael maybe? But then what would be the Lulu? I'm not sure. We have already hit deep from our power. We want to kill the Zoe, we want to kill the Poros. We have 4 mana to play with. I can do Grumble Slug, Heavy Metal and Dread Treasures. That might be the best course of action. The opponent's first turn doesn't seem all that scary. He summoned a bunch of Poros, and that's about it. And yeah, he starts with a Zoe for some reason. I guess it's because Zoe is the champion that is the signature of this adventure. Controlling the board buffs the Poros. It's going to be hard, at least in this first encounter. Let's block like so. Not under any sort of threat here. We'll probably end up dying from decking out faster than we end up dying from the opponent killing us. Next turn we'll do Grumble Slug. The opponent's deck no longer has stuff. Let's do the Beast Below. Try to get some cheap damage through. We'll attack with everything. It's fine. Maybe I shouldn't be killing the opponent's entire board every turn, because with every Poro I kill, all of the other Poros become bigger, and he summons a full board of Poros every turn. I'm just counting that Nautilus will be able to save us by allowing us to shuffle multiple threats back onto the opponent's board or onto the opponent's deck. Like so. Just shuffle these two back onto the opponent's deck. I'll take 3 here. I'll protect 2 of my units this way. Ooh. That was a decent hit. Actually got a decently started unit. The opponent gets a full board yet again. I wonder if the opponent... okay, we'll get a board that's large enough to survive my upcoming attack. If I allow him to play more units, he probably can survive my attacks. 8 damage. Do I try to go over with the damage from the heavy metal? I think just killing this thing is better. Okay, we kill this thing and we do a little bit of overkill damage. The opponent's not really dying. And he is developing a fair amount of threats every turn. Let's block. We'll do that there. Jump block here, I guess. Nah, that barely protects us, but it's better. We'll replace the 1 cost with a 4 cost. Never mind, the ordering doesn't work out that way. Now he has a full board of units. At least he overrode all of his Poros, so it's not like they have a lot to work with. This kills 1 Poro. We can't really kill the opponent, can we? We need to chip through in some form. Okay, this allows for some removal. He has 2 units with life steal. If I kill the opponent, it's got to be this turn. So let's do this. Now the opponent has 4 blockers and I have 6 attackers, so 2 of these are guaranteed to connect. We barely have enough damage to get through this. That was pretty hard for a first encounter. I guess it's because the opponent's power in of itself had synergy with the adventure's power to just summon a full board of Poros. I hope the other encounters are a bit easier. Woolly Snail Moth. It procs the Empower by itself, and it's a big threat. The Jettison is tempting to get through the deck faster, however. Proc deep a bit sooner. I think that's overall better. We benefit a lot more from getting to the deep faster than just generating a large threat or just having access to a large threat. And if is interesting, so is Darius. Freljord is a region that has a lot of big threats, but Noxus also has some interesting threats. And Darius by itself is pretty big. It can help close out the games thanks to the overwhelm. Death Sand with Farsight Alteration helps with thinning our deck. And Legion Grenadier with Shadow Tomtom is not too bad either. Yeah, let's pick this up. We have a lot of vision. I don't know if it's because of this adventure works this way, or if it's because something I got for my Bilgewater champions, but we can plan out ahead a fair amount. All players start with 10 mana gems. Oh, it's Karma Sett. Karma Sett Lulu Zed, okay. What would be a easier encounter? Lulu Zed or Karma Sett? Probably Karma Sett. I don't think the AI can pilot Karma Sett. Meanwhile, Lulu Zed is a deck that basically plays itself. You just play units and be aggressive with elusives. Meanwhile, Karma Sett actually requires you to play around Karma's duplication ability and the coins to also get maximum value from the set. We're proccing a bunch here. Unfortunately, we didn't give something vulnerable this time around with the hired gun, so you can't just insta-kill something. But we can allow the opponent to, spend his mana, and then I'll just heavy metal something down. Like so. let the opponent stop the opponent from benefiting from the power. I want to Death Send here, or I want to have Death Send as a backup this turn. So let's drop down the Grumble Slug. Yeah, because he's going to just attack with the Kinku Life Blade. At least I can do this. Keep denying the board wide buff. Not just board wide, it's also on the deck. Do I Jet the Sun here? I'll Jet the Sun. This way we get an additional unit from our power, because we haven't gotten one that turn yet. I think we have enough threats on the board to the point where we're incentivized to just attack with everything, force the opponent into blocking. He loses his entire board in the process. You have 6 cards in deck.
A gift from the river folk.
Do I develop something or do I hold? I'm going to hold, because if I hit the Nautilus, I get even more Nautilus, and that's important to prevent us from decking out. Yeah, just like that. It's like I can predict the future sometimes. This is useful. The opponent no longer has enough mana for the deny. So let's shuffle that unit back into the deck. This should stop the Dragon's Rage, I think. Because it no longer has a target on this side of the board. And now I can replace my weaker units with large Overwhelm units. And next turn I just kill the opponent. Let's deny the board wide buff. It's better if the opponent just has a bunch of small poros in his board instead of stuff that's actually useful. Prevent this opponent. We attack with the Beast Bellows first to hopefully proc the Darius level up. We do proc the Darius level up, but unfortunately Darius doesn't get to connect because of the Still Tempest, but we still kill the opponent, and that's all that matters. The Overwhelm on the units is really coming in handy. I might have to slot in Overwhelm on some of the other decks, so they have enough lethality to get through the opponent's Nexus. Yeah, we're picking up more sea monsters, even if it's a card that's not really synergistic with our deck. +7/+7, but I cost 3 more. Would I actually benefit from that? Or do I want something else? We don't really care about the stats, honestly. We only care about having an additional card in our deck. Let's reroll, maybe we can get something better. Yeah, Lure of the Depths for 1 might be good, might be better. But Beast Below, more Beasts Below. Beast Below is a very good card. Yeah, let's pick up more Beasts Below. Having discounted or discounting all of our sea monsters doesn't really seem like that big of a bonus, because we already get to Nautilus fairly consistently. All thanks to the flexible game plan. It's really working well to thin our deck out at the start. Even though it's only a common power. Maybe I should also stock up in heavy metals, because they are a very good way to deal with the early boards the opponent develops, while also acting as a way to deny the board wide buffs. Let's do this. We proc even more toss, which gets us to the deep on our second turn. We're getting to deep very quickly. I don't think we would have this great of a game if we didn't do that. Honestly, I don't really feel like tossing more cards. If you want to override the Protoporo, be my guest opponent, I don't care. Okay, doesn't seem to care to override the Protoporo. But I can't let him have an entire board just like that. So let's kill one of the Poros. Surely he can't develop a full board, yeah. With just 2 spell mana. Now captures another unit. That unit is vulnerable. Let's develop the beast below. Start chipping away at the opponent's health total. Never mind, because he has a frostbite. I can still kill 2 of his units by doing this. The opponent seems keen on not letting me have the captured units. That's fine by me, to be honest. They're not even that important. We're tossing a bit too much, I think. What's inside this? It would be nice to know. I wasn't really paying attention. I think this one has the largest unit inside. Yep. Nice. Let's develop the hired gun. Give the largest unit on the opponent's board vulnerable. And I'll keep a slot open so we can toss into something. Vision Grenadier. Maybe it's time to pull the trigger on the Nautilus. I'm going to jettison and then Nautilus.
Blood and salt.
This way we get more buffs, because we're tossing more cards overall. Let's override this guy. Now we can force the opponent to block. Otherwise he dies. It's going to release a bunch of cards. What's more important, killing that one or killing that one? Honestly, I'll hold. We don't really need to kill either one of them this round. We're already releasing one of my units. It's preferable to keep the heavy metal for the capture. Yeah, next turn. But the opponent managed to hit a fly. That's unlucky. And we're really tossing a lot. I can't play more of these direct treasures. The opponent's starting to override his own units. Please attack. Okay, it doesn't. Not going to get any benefit from the Nautilus, but I get a Darius, which is arguably just as good. Okay, the opponent just decides he wants to die. I'll take it. He could have jump blocked all of my units, by the way, and he would have stuck around for a couple more rounds. I guess he didn't consider the fact that he just gets a free board every turn. Plate for Mag, Legion Grenadier, Citrus Courier. Honestly, the Citrus Courier might be better, because it's a rally sometimes, and that's useful. Let's just buy 1 reroll. I want to save my money for a shop. Smooth Soloist, Ada Spirit. That gives us a power, right? It's from the Spirit Blossom Adventure. A downside for a power. I'm incentivized to go for the shop though, so I have to go for this path and face off against Zinea. Zinea is a problem. Zinea is a big problem. I want to a second reroll. Meditation. I don't know what that encounter does. I have the spare money. Let's buy another reroll. Now we move on. Karma and Sett. We start off the game with 10 mana. I don't know what the opponent will have in his starting board, but surely it won't be extremely threatening. Or at least I hope it won't be extremely threatening. Yeah, keep the Salvage, keep the Grumble Slug. We'll have a lot of mana so we can afford to keep a higher curve. Oh, he starts off with both Karma and Sett. And they both have quite decent items on them.
Peace begins within.
Let's see if the opponent can pilot this deck. Deadly. Champions contest +3/+3. When the foe refills mana, they grant their champions +1/+1 for each mana refill. Yeah, from the Karma. We haven't leveled up Nautilus yet, so we can't really go Nautilus dump all of our hand with sea monsters. So we have to play it slow actually. Let's do Grumble Slug, see what the opponent does. He has 10 mana to spare. That's underwhelming. Let's draw through our deck. Might be able to hit deep this turn. Yep, we can jettison and hit deep. Maybe we can bait the opponent with that. We'll attack like this. Yep. Hopefully he spends his entire mana pool here. He's buffing his entire deck by 4 actually. Scary. But I can do this. Hit deep. Both of his units die. He stops having a Sett on board. And he even takes a little bit of damage.
What could you ever teach
That's
me?
fine. It's kind of hard to remove though. Do I hold this mana as spell mana, or do I develop a beast below? I'm going to develop a beast below. That's a photo. That's a whole lot of nothing actually. Carmel just died if she pulls something. Never mind, she survives because she's getting a whole lot of buffs. Is he going to try and kill the Darius with Karma? Seems like it. Ooh, double Winter's Breath. That's very lucky for him. Karma randomly generated that. He just gets a full board clear for free. I'm going to have to jump block Karma somehow. Recall an ally. Does that count? I don't think he can develop anything else to go ahead and I don't think he can develop anything else to go ahead and fill up his board to proc the power, so this should be fine. It's kind of a waste to throw the beast within like that, but I had no better options. I didn't want to take a whole lot of damage from the Karma. Do I pull the trigger on Nautilus? Sure. Hopefully the opponent wastes his mana here. I can Death Send to go for a black market merchant and draw 1 card from his deck because I desperately need the refuel. What are you doing? Recalling my ally. Okay, or the ally. I still proc the damage though. That could be worse. It's a unit, I guess.
I'll handle this myself.
Now what do I do here? That thing is at 23. Can't really clear that. Guess I can do this. Force blocks.
Peace has its cost.
And then I can choose between either killing the Karma or killing the Ace Shaw. Ace Shaw might be a bigger problem. That doesn't work. The Devour cares about health, not power.
My axe is ready.
Let's see what the opponent does next turn. We're getting very close to killing him. We just need one turn. He might not attack here at all. He gets nothing from attacking here. Hopefully he doesn't get another board clear for free. Singular Will. That might be worse for him than it is for me. All of his units die, mine just get bounced back to hand. And I can play Nautilus and replay them all for free. Okay, the opponent decided to give me the win. I guess he felt bad for me or something. Do I want to go for the black market merchants? I'll use them. By this point it doesn't really matter. I'll just save the Devour of the Depths to kill one unit here. The opponent probably plays Karma here. Nautilus needs to be blocked by this guy.
Forward.
It feels like a waste to do this, Devour of the Depths, on a small unit, but I think it's the only way to secure the victory. If the opponent goes for Karma here, or Sett,
Lost yet, and I ain't starting now. Technique is for lightweights.
Sett's the only one that can block the Nautilus. Does he go for Karma? Let's risk everything.
Let's throw down.
Nautilus connects, Darius dies. But he wastes his entire mana pool, he no longer has a Sett. The opponent's dangerously low. I have 13 cards in deck. I just wanted to save the Devour of the Depths just in case the opponent had a Karma.
It's okay.
It's fine. He has to play the Karma here, right? He's not going to pass priority back to me without playing the Karma. There he goes. I was saving the Devour of the Depths just for her. We denied the opponent the... never mind, I was about to say we denied the board buff, but we don't. Can I proc the...
I never disclose my sources.
Yes, I can. I was about to say, can we proc the Citrus Courier here? And we can. Just do this. Now he doesn't have a blocker for every single one of my units, and I just need one of them to go through to be able to Citrus Courier and rally and close out the game. Yeah, he develops the Sett, but who cares?
Shadow Citrus, here for fight.
And the Karma. But you have no more mana, so you can't prevent this. Even with the Sett having a lifesteal, it was still not enough. Turns out I was right, the opponent can't really pilot Karma Sett. And we have access to... no, we don't. It's up next. Up next we get access to a shop. Draw an ally 5 first per hour or... Grow an ally to 5+ power. No, let's roll. Really newt fish. No, atrocity. Atrocity is a decent way to get over the top damage. Do I pick up atrocity? Sure. It's a neat little backup. Call all copies of a card, the price doubles each time. Sure would be good if I weren't playing a deck that requires me to have a bunch of cards in my deck. Yeah, we're going for the path that gives me access to a shop. I just desperately need the shop cards. It's going to be a nice way to add some much needed power to my deck. More card draw would be nice. Maybe some more sea monsters so I don't run the risk of just straight up dying to decking myself out. 9 cards in hand. We don't have the Scuttle or whatever it's called, restore 1 spell mana. So I guess we're doing Drag Treasures and attacking with both units. When the foe's unit is targeted, it swaps with one of its neighbors. I don't really have to attack. I can just do this. Yeah, it's safe. Keep it slow. We hit the beast below. We can block here. For some reason the opponent's attacking with everything. Maybe he thinks he can develop something. I'm only taking 2 damage here, so I'm not in too bad of a position. Let's drop down the beast, save some spell mana for the heavy metal just in case he fills up his board. And he doesn't, so we're safe. Yeah, let's do Legion Grenadier. We'll attack with everything here. We'll block, or we'll kill whatever blocks the beast below. Can also do deep, preserve my units. Yeah, let's hit deep. The opponent's trading with everything. So he has no combat tricks to prevent this from happening. Slowly and surely all of my sea monsters are growing to an absurd degree. The opponent's already at 5 damn, and those were just a couple of hits from our units. Ooh, we might have lethal here. We do this, Death Send one of the opponent's units, deal 1. Proc the rally effect. He gets a blade, which is completely irrelevant. We drop the citrus courier. And now he has to stop this attack from happening. Yeah, I take 12, but whatever, I close out the game. I can just restore my health in between encounters. Nice. I think our deck is getting better. At least that game didn't take half a year. Rictus, Obedient Dracon, Mystifying Magician. Transform an ally into a random 5-cost follower. Sure. I'll pick it up just because it's a sea monster that will have access to Overwhelm. And now for a shop. Cadegrim is cool. Lord Malat is cool. Same thing with Treasure Trove. Afterlife Forbidden. Yeah, it's not that great. Let's roll. Out of the gates. Pretty good for our deck. Mordboard Presence. Let's pick up some Cadegrims. Really fill up our deck, sure. Let's stock up on Treasure Troves as well. The breakpoints for the power are 30. I have to remember myself at every time. It's 30, 42, 54, and 66. The next breakpoint is at 54. So let's pick up the Lord Malat. It draws one on summon, so it's going to proc the power nicely. And then summon grant other allies overwhelm. Or elusive. Sea monster. Yeah, when I'm summon, I grant other allies overwhelm. It's grant or give? Grant. Yeah. Now we're up to 56. I could do the Submersible. It also draws one. Sure. Let's stock up on good cards. Or at least decent cards. We're at 59. We're almost at the point where we can hit the other breakpoint, which is 66. Mystifying Magician. I'll keep the 2-drop. This is a very rough encounter normally, so I think I'm going to need the board presence early. But now I don't have enough consistency on the hits for the spells that deal damage and get rid of the opponent's units at the start. It's only going to come from me dropping down the hired gun and the Death's Hand. Well, at least my hired guns are pretty massive now. He surely can't develop back after this. Yep. Let's do salvage. Just to get a blocker for the blade. Our poros are massive. We're going to mill one card here. It's okay. Start of Blades is scary, but it could be worse. We hit deep. He attacks with a full board of blades. Let's just do this. Prevent all the damage. Let's do this here. Actually, let's do there. We'll do that there and we'll clear the opponent's board so that he doesn't get board-wide buffs. Ouch. He's reducing the cost of the Xeneas, yeah. By 2. Might be able to play one here. Can draw one. Sea Monster. Can also do Mystifying Magician. Mystifying Magician. I wanted to go for the rally this turn, but I can't. So it's better to do this. Oh, never mind, we gave everything overwhelm. It's still not enough. Can do this though. Let's transform that thing into something good. Ooh, an Abyssal Eye. I high roll the opponent. Yeah, the Noxian Merchant is definitely a great addition to the deck. All of our units are massive, but some of them don't have Overwhelm. The fact that all of a sudden we can give everything Overwhelm adds a lot to the lethality of the deck. Y'all Hunters, Swirling Death, Zonite Urchin. Nah. Abyssal Guard, Riptide. Riptide is a good card just by itself. Ramping Us is also pretty good. We start the game off with a lot of cards, so I don't think we need the extra Guiding Touch for card draw. So it's either Abyssal Guard or Riptide. We're going to cast Riptide a lot, I think. Yeah, let's pick up the Riptide. Hey, the Spirit. Normally you just pick up the easier
Tell you when I get there.
power and move on. Because going for the other one is not really that great. But none of these seem that worth it. Created cards. Created cards cost 10. Are we creating a lot of cards? We don't really create a lot of cards actually. Right? Let me reread this power. Until you're deep when you draw... no, it's this one. Each round, the first time you draw or toss a unit with cost less than or equal to your mana gems, create a copy of it into play. But it doesn't really affect the... or I'm not really affected by the fraud, right? We're not creating cards in hand. Yeah, I think this might actually be one of the first situations where you're incentivized to pick the harder one, but I have to win 3 encounters with this thing in the deck. Ah, sure, let's risk it. How hard can it possibly be? It's Azir and Irelia, so it might actually be pretty hard. This is technically the end of this part of the adventure. So it should be as hard as a final boss of an adventure. At least one of his units is going to die here. Because we got a decent hit off of the hired gun. Grant their strongest unit +1/+1, it attacks with 2 blades. Why are they getting Troll King's Crown? Okay. And Lohan Blade Hack. Frightening. I can actually deal with both, though. Can do this. Hopefully the opponent doesn't have, yeah, removal. There goes the challenger on all of his units. Let's do drag dredgers. Just to save enough mana for a death send, yeah, in case the opponent fills up his board. He might still be able to fill up his board though, he has 2 spare mana. Yep. Actually no. We can do this. No we can't because it has brush. Okay. I guess everything is getting a buff. Ouch. Everything's getting a buff. Okay, it could be worse. There could have been worse hits. But Azir levels up very quickly. Do I pull the trigger? I think I have to do something here. Let's jettison. I have 18, salvage gets us there. Let's just hit deep. So that this way I can safely block all of these scary units the opponent has just used to attack me. He does nothing else? Okay, good. It would have been terrible if the opponent actually had other plays besides that. Let's do a little bit of removal, clear the Azir so that these units no longer have overwhelm. That's one less threat. We'll use the Poro. Actually, let's just attack with everything. But we'll use the Poro to guarantee a kill. The opponent has 6 mana. So he... oh! Right. Overwhelm. Just goes through all of all the things the opponent's doing. Ooh. How long have we been doing this? Almost an hour, really? Let's pick up regeneration for the Nautilus, or bonded bucklers for the Darius. Let's pick up bonded bucklers for the Darius. And then we move on to the next map, but that will be something for the next video. I think this video is already long enough, combined with the Twisted Fate video at the start of the week. Yeah, this is more than I can handle in a recording session. So yeah, that will be it for today. Thank you so much for watching. Tune in next time to the continuation of this run. Goodbye. Till then.